Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today I wanted to make a quick video talking about the modded 3DS. A lot of people are going back to their 3DSs. A lot of people are buying a 3DS to mod it, to play its games. And today, I just want to show mine. So as we can see, I have the Samus Returns edition, the new 3DS. I bought this specifically to play this game. I have the cartridge here. And this was one of my favorite games. So let's go ahead and show it off here, see what we have. So we've got a lot of games on here for a variety of different moods. So let's go through our 3DS games first. So Super Mario, the new Super Mario Brothers 2, Luigi Mansion. I haven't played this one too much. I need to play this more. And of course, we have to have the classic N64 remakes or remasters. Here we go with Star Fox right here. We have to have this. Only one we don't have is Majora's Mask, because I'm not really huge into Zelda, but I did grow up with Ocarina of Time and I have that. And of course, the Samus Returns. I always play with the 3D on, but with the camera, we'll just keep that off for now. And of course, Mario Kart 7. Now this is a bit of a controversial one. A lot of Pikmin fans don't really appreciate this game, and I totally understand why, with the story behind it and the way it came out. However, it's a decent little platforming game, a decent little puzzle game. Yes, it's dummy easy, but that's kind of the whole point. That's why I like it. You just put it on and relax and just sit back and throw some Pikmin around. Kind of cool. And this is a classic. I love this game. It's on the Wii U as well. We have Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Yep, I love this one. Now this is a really good game here. We have Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D on the 3DS. This is a very good port. I think it's amazing that this game even runs on here. Super Mario 3D Land. I don't have too much experience with this game. I beat it. It was alright. Not really too big into Mario. I like sci-fi and space more, so I'm not really big into that. Platformers. But here we go. Sims 3 Pets. I actually really like this version in the way that it plays with the touchscreen controls and all that. I think it's pretty good. Now why do I have this version of it? Well, I like Minecraft, and I think this version is interesting. Quick little story about when I was playing this version. I was in a world, built a house, it was looking good. I went out to go get some food, and I came back, my house was completely gone. It was like I didn't even build it. Never seen anything like that. This version has so many quirks. I honestly have it just because of the quirks and how interesting it is and the fact that it even runs on here. But to be honest, this is not a good way to play Minecraft, for real. It's not. Just being objective, just being factual. So let's move on. This is the last 3DS game we have, and that is Super Street Fighter 4. This was a launch game, I think, for this system. And I remember back in the day when the original 3DS first came out, this was actually one of the reasons I wanted to get this system. I don't even really like fighting games. I just like the characters in this game. So, now let's get to the more interesting stuff we have. The ports. So we have Quake, and this is my favorite, Quake 2. Let's show a little bit of this actually. So this is my save here. As you can see, we have the keyboard down here. And I think this plays really well for it being on the 3DS for the controls. I really like the little nub here. I love the nub. One of the reasons I like the new 3DS. But, a little reflection there. But as you can see, it plays quite well. Only thing about it that's different is there's no music. No music in this version. I find that a bit disappointing. Other than that, this is Quake 2. Plays and looks really good if you ask me. Just show a little bit more of this. I really want you guys to see how well this controls and plays. Moving fast, we're going fast. I don't really remember where I'm even supposed to go. I think I'm going the wrong way. But, oh wait, no, this is the end of the level. Anyways, that's Quake 2. Alright, but that is not the end. We have more stuff on here. Here we go. A port of Super Mario 64. Had to have this. Had to have this, and I love the way that this plays as well. And it even works with the 3D. Super Nintendo emulator. And Doom. I don't really like the way this plays on here too much. It's D-pad only. You can't use these, or maybe I can change it in the settings. I'm not sure. I'll have to play around with it more. But either way, it's a decent port, and it's Doom 1 and 2. Now let's get to the really cool stuff, at least the stuff I think is cool. Here's my folder of arcade ports right here. I love arcade games and arcade ports, and I really wanted to turn this thing into like an arcade machine, but as you can see, I have RetroArch, and the MAME emulator doesn't really work, so we are sticking with ports. And as you see, we have Contra, NES port, Donkey Kong 3 and Junior, Mario Brothers, Miss Pac-Man, or is this regular Pac-Man? Yes, Pac-Man. Galaga. As you can see, we have a ton of ports here. T2 Arcade, Millipede. We've got some Genesis games here. Virtua Racing, Outrun, Afterburner 2, Virtua Fighter 2. As you can see, we've got a lot of ports. Lots of stuff. More arcade, Atari arcade games here. And we have the RetroArch. And here's my 32X emulator. Let me go ahead and show you guys the 32X. So I've got a few 32X games here. Let's go ahead and show the Virtua Racing. I play this one a lot. So here we go. Virtua Racing. Pick our track. I just want to show this game just a little bit. Show you guys how much emulation this thing can do. I think it's quite impressive. It's playing so smooth, no glitches, no lags. Oh, whoops. There we go. But yes, this is RetroArch on the 3DS, and we're playing the Sega 32X Virtua Racing. Go ahead and show another one of my favorite arcade games here. T2, the Terminator 2 game on Super Nintendo. Let's go ahead and check this out. Alright, here's our Terminator 2 port. As you can see, bottom screen, we have our virtual controls here. Let's check this out. This is such a good port. As you can see, it plays just fine. Plays really nice. This was such a nice port, very close to the arcade experience. If anybody knows the original arcade version of this game, it's still to this day, this is probably one of the best Terminator games. But there's that. Now I want to go ahead and show this Super Mario 64 port a little bit. Talked about it, but I didn't show it, so I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys real quick here. So as you can see here, we're on the main menu, and this is just a straight port of the game, made to function in the 3DS. As you can see, I've been playing it a little bit here. I have 25 stars, not too much, but it plays and controls so well. You have the circle pad, which acts just like the N64 joystick. I mean, just look at this, guys. Anybody familiar with this game? I mean, check this out. It plays so nice. It plays so beautifully. It looks great. It looks exactly. And look at him. Look at Mario. Look how happy he is to be on the 3DS. See what I'm saying? Look at him. Big smile on his face. He's happy to be here. Anyways, there's that. All right, last but not least, we have some DS games. We got that brain age, you know what I'm saying? Gotta stay smart out here. Got Metroid Prime Hunters. One of the reasons that I really wanted a DS back in the day. The Mario Kart DS, Advance Wars, Dual Strike, and Days of Ruin, and that new Super Mario Bros. And I used to use Twilight, but I figured out how to use the forwarder, so we just got all the DS games on the main menu here. Don't have to use Twilight. Oh, can't believe I forgot about this folder, the old games folder. So I just call it that because I have all the classic games in here. We've got the Metroid 2. We've got the Kirby's Dream Land. I love these two games. These two games here are some of the best Game Boy games out there. And of course we have our Pokemon, Pokemon Gold, and the Red version. About to say Fire Red for Game Boy Advance, but Super Mario Land. Dude, we've got a bunch of stuff in here. Check this out. We've got some stuff that's not even like available on the 8 shop. I had to put it on here. Got the Sonic Advance 3, Metroid Zero Mission. Why isn't this on the virtual? I don't know, huge miss. But we got Advance Wars 2, lots of stuff. And then here we go, Fire Red version. And you can tell I made these myself. As you can tell, like the pictures like cut off. And same with Zero Mission. And but the pictures don't really matter all that much to me as long as the game is on there. It doesn't really matter what it looks like to me. I know that's like a huge deal for people, but nah, I don't really care. Ooh, we've got this. This isn't on here either, the Iron Tank game. I love this game. One of the few NES games that I actually really like. And what's this here? Yes, Kirby's Adventure. Another game that I don't know why it's not already on here. But I had to put that on here. And look at that. We got Mega Man Extreme 2. I actually really like this game. I'm not a huge fan of Mega Man, but I had this back in the day on my Game Boy Color. And we have it here. This is the Sonic the Hedgehog port for the Game Gear. I'm probably just gonna port the Genesis version because this version isn't very good, to be honest. But that pretty much wraps it up. The other stuff is this is just the homebrew folder. You know, anybody that's familiar with the homebrew, this is all of our homebrew stuff. You know, our universal updater, which is where if you want these games, the ports, you know, Quake, Doom, and all that stuff, you'll need the universal updater because that's where you're going to download that stuff at. It's even got emulators and all sorts of good stuff in there, and of course, you know, just FTP and, you know, managers and all that stuff. Nothing really cool in here, but that's it for my games pretty much. We'll give you one last summary, a good little look here at all my stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about my top no, we'll not even say a number, just top games that I like on here. The Metroid Samus Returns. I've put so many hours into this. Star Fox 64 3D. Captain Toad, so that's top 3 3DS games we'll say there. Captain Toad, Star Fox, and Metroid. Quake 2 is the top, like, we'll call it port on here. I love Quake 2, and this is such a good port of it. It's just no music. That's the only unfortunate part. The top arcade game, man, I love all these arcade games. My favorite ones would be definitely Virtual Racer for the 32X. I have it on the Genesis as well, but obviously it's not as good on here. It's better on 32X. So Virtual Racing Afterburner also for 32X. What else? And then I would say my top arcade game that's not in the 32X, we'll say Mario Bros. I really like that one. Millipede on the Atari Greatest Hits. But that's pretty much it for my top stuff, and that's it for the video in general. That's my 3DS. Oh wow, it's a glare right there. But anyways, that's my 3DS. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked looking at my stuff, and see you guys in the next video.